Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, everyone. This is Dylan Russell, and it is Tuesday morning for me. We are starting out at the base today. We will be doing hopefully a little bit of work on the cabinet for the thing in the spawn area. I guess the large statue box, which doesn't have a name yet. That's part of why I'm calling it the thing or the monster or whatever at this point in time. But we have a little bit of cleanup to do. I was mucking around on the weekend, after stream weekend, with narrowing my chicken cooker, cleaning up part of it, and we had some escapees. And the escapees have, since I had logged off, decided to A, grow up, and B, make a mess. So I'm just cleaning up a little bit of that mess. As my stream go live always says, there's squirreling, always squirreling, and here's some of the squirreling. What's in here? Absolutely nothing. Okay. Oh, chicken. See, chicken's everywhere. There we go. All right. I think that should be enough. Chicken. Oh, one more chicken cleanup. Where'd you go? In the corner. There we go. All right. So I need to figure out today what we're going to use for the walls on the cabinet. Now, being as I'm sort of one of those perma early game people, which has its pros and cons, and I don't know why that chicken's stuck in my glass, but he can just stay there. I should have made that a solid block. Unfortunately, now that there's chickens in here, if I make that a solid block, or try to, we're going to actually get a lot of escapees before that, so one of those we'll get to it later moments. We need to figure out what we're going to make our cabinet out of for the trader box. And why not? We have lots of lava. So we need to figure out what looks good and what is decently available. I was thinking a basalt might look good. I don't know if I have enough to make it work, but I can at least start there. So this will be a regular one, and then we'll also try a polished. I'm thinking about putting it up against some warp stems. We'll take a look at that, and then let's see, where's some cherry. Do I have cherry? Come on, tell me I have cherry. No. All right. Well, we can always remedy that and go get a little bit of cherry. It's not a big deal. We'll just snap the one in the yard and see where we go with that. All right. Oh, that's cool. Yep, no problem. If you need to lurk or drop in, drop out, that's perfectly fine. Thank you so much for letting me know, Benson, and I appreciate that you're here today. So I'm trying to narrow it down to just a narrow chicken cooker, and I'm trying to remember how I did it in the past, because I used to use trap doors for part of it, but then something was getting them triggered, so I'm not sure what I did differently. I'll probably mess with it off camera, because, I don't know, because I can, I guess. It's probably more the point. Okay, so I wanted cherry for the test. Right. So do let us know how the bath with Impa goes. Some dogs love them, some dogs hate them. On the bright side, Impa's short enough fur that it shouldn't look dreadful afterwards. I used to have a poodle cross when I was growing up that, because poodles, I don't know, like I think she was a poodle spaniel cross, so she was supposed to have the longer fur underneath of a spaniel, and whoever my mom started using as a groomer towards the end of her life would actually shave the poor thing nearly bald, but the resulting effect was she looked even more bedraggled in the bath than she ever had before. So, and she didn't like the bath. It was kind of weird. She used to like the bath when she had long hair, right? And then you shave her short and she would hate the bath. So I think it was probably more that she had more sensitivity on her skin when her fur was short. So when we got a dog for our current family, who's no longer with us, sadly, the dog that is, but we got one definitely that was short-haired, because even though there was shedding absolutely everywhere, it made it a lot easier to manage the shed than actually worrying so much about the long hairs and trying to bathe them all the time. This one we could just hose him down pretty much and he was good. He wasn't exactly a super messy dog either. That worked out well. And yeah, tell I missed the guy, but anyway, good luck with the bath with Impa. Okay, just making sure it's going to be enough to despawn. Perfect, okay. Because if it despawns, we're alright. If it doesn't despawn, we got problems. And yeah, no cherry out here. But I will take a little bit of spruce. That might be another option. What else would work? I think that's probably... maybe a mangrove? We'll see. I'm not really keen on that one. Okay. That's all she wrote, right? Okay. So we're not going to be chopping trees all day, I hope. But we'll see what ends up looking best with the... Oh, okay, sure. What ends up looking best. And like I did yesterday, I'm going to... Or not yesterday, sorry, Sunday. I'm going to use the walls as a good place to put things, but I want to do it underneath something where there's a ridge over top, just so that we don't end up with a lot of spawning. That's the word I'm looking for. Wow. Okay, haven't had the hydrate yet. And we're going to hydrate on coffee. Let's just set that for the day. Set hydrate to coffee. Whoa. Oops. Caps Lock doesn't like me. Can't spell. Apparently I can spell in caps, but not in lowercase. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to have a good old coffee sip.
4, 6, 8, everybody hydrate!
And you. There we go. Alright. I have the obligatory announcement of coffee consumption. Right? Okay. Do I have food? Okay, I do have food. Good. So what I'm looking at to start with, where's the cherry? Here's the cherry. So on the cabinet out at this, at the spawn area, I've got the corners and the cross beams looking kind of like that. It's sort of that sort of color. I like that quite a bit. I'm looking for something to go with it, so my thought is looking at possibly basalt. That might not be bad, it's actually pretty dark. And then it does get a bit of a striping pattern. But I'm thinking that's a little bit busy, I think, for what I'm looking for. But let's see, one of the other thoughts I had is something very plain intentionally. Nope, not liking the spruce at all. That's terrible. Okay, scratch that. Easy enough. Okay, and then... why not? I can do mangrove the same way. Better, but not great, because we have a blue theme with a gent up top, and if we can get enough crying obsidian, we'll have a purple instead, so purple theme. So that sort of red with a slight orange hint doesn't quite work. Apparently I can make signs. Yay! Let's see, what do we got? Now I'm thinking maybe if I leave this and just add a single trim of that to help pull everything together, that might work. This? That's a bit weird. Looking back here. Yeah, it's a bit weird. I'm just going to try polishing off a couple of these. Where's the guy? Polishing off a couple of the basalt stones and see what that looks like. I'm not sure I'm going to like that. Let's do 4, so I can do the 2 rows. Oh, runaway chicken! Goodbye. So this isn't bad as a divider. I think I'm not sure if I like that or not. Okay, so take down these. If I went with a striping pattern, either vertical or horizontal, let's try horizontal first. Actually, that's not bad. because I like the lighter color. Take these two down. So I definitely like this better than the other one. Take these two down. And it doesn't have to be a horribly vertical line all the time. Ooh. I kind of like that. Because it blends the purple and whatnot into everything. The question is, do I go with the vertical stripes or the horizontal stripes? Because I don't think I'm going to, what do you call them, alternate them again to make the little square pattern out of it. I've done that with the flooring twice with bone blocks, and I don't think that would look good with these. I think I'm liking the horizontal because we've got enough verticality to the box that I think that vertical just makes it look way too tall. So I'm going to try horizontal. I don't have to use the warp wood in there, but I like the way that it moves. And yet I still like the still corners. Uh-oh, what did I do with the last one? That. Okay, let's do 4 more. I'll repeat the same pattern on the other side of the cherry and see what people think. We can also swap out with the with crimson instead and see what a red tone to that part of it might look like. We need these. 1, 2, 3. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Need to eat so we can move faster. All right. So here we go. Oops. This one. Let's take that out. One of the blue in between. We can even try a blue horizontal. And see if that's any better. I'm definitely liking the horizontal basalt. Because it's not something you see a whole ton of in the shopping district. It makes the lower part of the cabinet a bit darker, which is nice. But the horizontal hyphae, or not hyphae, stem, I guess, doesn't really work for me. It seems odd, but I think I like the vertical. And maybe it's the alternation of the vertical, horizontal, vertical thing, or the other way around. So we've got horizontal going this way, then a vertical break that way, and then horizontal this way. I wish, this is going to sound dumb, but I really wish you could actually flip this around. So instead of the curve on here, you have it on this right-hand side. I know it doesn't really make much difference when you've got a whole string of it, but I don't think you can actually do that with these. So I'd put it on this one. If I put it on this one instead, does it make a difference? Nope, none. So we've got just vertical and horizontal. And that's it. I mean, I could make them spend 4 per and get where it's wrapped all around, but I don't think that's necessary. Still torn though, but maybe the horizontal works better? I don't know. Okay. So then the other thought I had was the same thing. Let's do one of each. Again, vertical. And the cherry vertical. Actually, the cherry does have a horizontal look to it. But not on the corners. Okay, I don't really want to redo everything. Do I like that better? What we've got, I'm just going to grab the wool. I think we've got some blue in here. Blue, 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 yep. Dabba-dee-dabba-da. Okay. There's an awful lot of blue in there, needless to say. It's the trader, so it's going to be a lot of blue. So we've got sort of a blue theme going. Which the warp will probably tie into, I think, a bit better than the crimson would. Yeah, the crimson is just too stark. I think I like this sort of... I do like the blend, even though it's sort of blends as opposed to... what's the word? As opposed to just simply Doesn't really matter. The point is that I like it. So I think I'm still torn between vertical and horizontal. The horizontal's growing on me. No bad puns intended. Guess I'm just going to take a look at it from farther back. Boop, and just see what it looks like as one approaches. I like the hint of like the movement, so I'm still going to keep the corners as they are in the cherry. But I won't wrap the whole thing in blue. I'm just thinking more, oops. If I pull this out, this one. Where is, there we go. Didn't I have, oh yeah, there it is. Keep dropping the basalt. Not a great one. Okay. So an upper corner or a lower corner would look something like this. Trimmed by the cherry outside of that. You like that one, sir? Is that what you're saying? But if I went vertical with it instead... Oops, let's pull this off. Sir, what are you doing? This one's fully horizontal, and then this one would be fully vertical, just for seeing how things look. Oops. That. By the time you start getting a big wall of this stuff, you don't really notice much difference, do you? Oops. Let's see, what do we got? Yeah, I think I still like the horizontal sort of going into this part, but keep the corners the darker cherry. And I have space. I could inset this by one, but I think I'm going to keep it because I end up losing 2 blocks on all sides. If I inset, there's really no point to inset. It gives depth, but I mean, do we really... Yeah, I don't really have the space for that. I didn't build that. Now I can build. I could bring all the cherry out by 1. Let's see if I do that. What do I want to do here? Oh, I got trapdoor. Sure, that'll work. There, okay. Then when one approaches the thing, you would see a lot of like this sort of thing all in one layer. And then that would be sort of all one layer coming around another corner. But then the actual corner itself would stick out with this one. Well, that type of decision we can make on site. And I'm still not sure if I want to do straight with the color. Like, I like the movement. Really like the movement. But I'm actually wondering... The plain is so plain, so I will go with the warped on the inside there. But I don't know if the setback is worth it. He does give it the texture. Let's consider building the wall, and then I can pull the corner out by 1. Actually, that would make it really rounded. Well, we can always decide that part on site. I think I'll just go with that. So I do need the basalt. Actually, let me try one other thing. I'm going to see if I've got mushroom stem. Because mushroom stem might work too. Sort of a dirty cabinetry look. It's brighter and lighter than the birch. But I've already done birch, right? So it's not super duper exciting. You know, very unpredictable. But the birch is nice. Maybe I should test that just in case. Easy to obtain. I have a whole ton of that. So that's another option. There, and you go away. What else we got? you an escapee? I'll have to figure that out, because I could actually have escapees. That's a high possibility. Let's just take this off. I got glass. No escapees allowed. How's that? I want on top. I can go on top back here, which is fine. Yes, sir, go away. You're rare. Okay. I wanted... Oh, chicken head. Nice. Throw it in the head box. Chicken... Oh, come on. Really? Once again, we got 1 tag and 2 tags. Don't know why they're not saying how many MBT tags right now, but... Yeah, too many. Fine. Okay, let's put this one up there. I'll throw the hoglins over here. There, close enough. Alright. Not worrying about that right now. Still puzzled by this lone chicken stuck in glass. Why is it that nobody else is stuck in glass with him? And why is it that that one doesn't get back on the mat or just die? Oh well. See, he's trying. He's really trying. Anyway, okay, so we were looking at strip birch, and I wanted to know if I have mushroom stem. Ooh, diorite. As much as everybody and their dog dislikes diorite, let's test that too, sure. I know mangrove didn't work, so let's put mangrove... Oh, back here. And spruce didn't work, so let's put the spruce back there. Oh, I still have leftovers. That's what's going on here. Okay. Oak. Nope. Oak. Slab. I was trying to figure out why I had so many bits. Now I get it. Alright, so let's see, we've got diorite. I think the plain diorite would be too messy. I think that might look a little weird. But let's see what else we've got. Yeah, copper would be very, very boring because it would actually get all oxidized. And even if I didn't, it's still very orangey. Hee. Just for fits and giggles, I'm going to see what this looks like. The dripstone block, that is. Sorry. Certainly not plain stone. Where did my plain stone box go? And I was thinking about calcite, but I don't have any. So if the diorite look seems to be close, then I might have to find a geode or two. Dude. Really? Come on. Yeah, chicken cooker definitely needs tearing down and reworking. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Because it's not just the guy stuck in there. I think these guys down here are escaping because they're all running around, and I was pretty sure I cleaned up. And oh, that's not ideal. Where's the shoe? Hey Jay, good to see you. How are you doing today? Okay, let's take this lever off and throw up another glass. No? Oh, that's not going to be ideal, is it? I've glassed in that side. Okay, I can reach it from the back here. That's fine.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm not intending to be doing chicken today. That's a bit of a squirrel. Meaning I'm squirreling a little bit just because I had chickens all over the place. And stuff happened. There we go. That's a very odd set of knocks with the laugh on there. Hey you, I saw that. Stop it. When I had 2 blocks wide, it was fine. But now when they grow up, they're escaping. So I may come back to a base that's an absolute mess. That's okay. That's not what we're here for. Predict an egg. Yay! Okay. We'll start an egg prediction. No problem. Platforms. Predictions. Right. Excellente. So, we have an egg prediction up. For those of you that are not familiar with how this works, it doesn't show all that well on the screen. It's supposed to actually.
We interrupt this program to annoy you and make things generally irritating.
Successful. Very successful. Alright, so we have an egg prediction going. And for those of you that aren't familiar with how this works, at the end of the prediction period, we will grab 5 eggs out of storage and toss them, and we'll see if we get an egg or a chicken out of that, or if we end up getting egg on our face, so to speak. Okay. Where are we here? Predict an egg. Got that. Excellent. So, what was I doing here? Squirrel! Brrr. Hype! Oh, I'm glad. Thank you. That one, actually, that hype sheep was drawn by my daughter. So, yeah. Oops, I'm going to take that out wrong. This is where I think this one might actually look not bad. Ooh! Not a fan of the fact that it's the line.
The next race is about to begin. Please put !play in the chat.
Yeah, definitely the marbles sound is available for everybody, but we haven't got a marbles on here at the moment. Let me just double check and see if I've even got that one turned on. Platforms, points. Oh, yep, those are available. They're expensive, but they're available. Alright, so I'm like, the light is nice, actually, compared to this one. I thought I was going to go with that one. It's very, very subtle. I'm going to try it with the boring diorite and see if that's any better, because we may have to go on a calcite run. I don't have any of it. Way too busy. Okay. Let me pull this one out. And I'm going to pull out this one. Let's try that, because somewhere between the two, I see calcite as sort of between these two. I could do white concrete powder maybe. That looks like this. I can probably scrounge up some sand. If not, we can go grab some. And so white concrete powder might work. But I mean, by the time you get a distance, it's very, very bland. So I think something with a little bit more definition might work better. Okay, so we've got that one. And the other piece I was going to try was a stripped birch look. So we've got the birch up against those colors.
A duck walked up to a lemonade stand and he said to the man, run in the stand. Hey, bum, bum, bum. Got any grapes?
I love that song. I have a memory attached to it, which works well. The memory is that when we were, during COVID, the scout groups still continued on. We, of course, weren't allowed to meet in person, but we had some remote campfires. So basically everybody logged on, or not logged on, but like one of them we did through Zoom, and one of them, I think we did 2 over YouTube. But our groups were asked to create, volunteer, whatever, videos that they had made for our virtual campfires. And so my two kids and I did a video of that song. So basically my daughter wanted to be one character, my son wanted to be another character, and then I got to be the narrator character, which had the majority of the singing in the whole thing. It's a me thing. It was not about tooting my horn or anything like that. I did magic tricks for that one as well, actually. Anyway, but that's why I like that song a lot. Alright, so we've got those two colors. Do we like the birch enough to be able to stick with that? Or do I need to go and find the calcite? I know where I've got a list I'm slowly making of notes for Java. And I do have a list of, I think it's 3, possibly 4 geodes in this area. I'm just seeing where's my note. Notes would be useful. Oops, wrong one. So I did it on my phone since I wasn't at my paper note pile. Yeah, so I got 2 full ones, but one of them's quite small, and 2 partials that are all sort of under the main base area. And that was originally picked up accidentally, as in, oh, crumb, saw it, but then now that I need it, I figured I would write them down. You know, for those of you that are on non-mobile devices, so on computers and such, the source I'm using as sort of a loose reference to what we're building is on Zoltar.org, and they're a company that actually makes the fortune teller type machines. And so if one just take a look there, the cabinetry is really quite plain, but they have it looks like it's all one color, and then often we'll have a second strip, so that's where this part comes in. But I think, you know, weirdly enough, most people on the planet don't like the birch, but I actually quite do. So I think I'm going to go with it. I know it sounds dumb, but I think that's where I'm headed. Let's pull this down. But I also like it with the warp stem in there, so I think we're going to keep that as well. It's not that I don't want to go calcite hunting, it's just, compared to the tones I was using already, I went with kind of a cream look, and the calcite probably would be way too white. Way too white, silly closed captions. And apparently my closed captions cannot say calcite. It gave me Cal State, as in Cal State University. Dude. What the? Okay, okay. Honestly. Stairs, where'd the stairs go? Do I have any stairs handy, of any sort? Fine. Let's see, any stairs? No, birch is bad for that. Oh, ha ha ha. Just a few stairs. Alright. Let's put this away. Birch can go over here. I don't think I need the blue wool, but I can put it away on the other side. Okay, let's get these. First off, let's get these two changed out. No, I can't see the chickens when I do it that way, but at the moment, I'm not sure I really care. This one's probably got to move, so let's do that. Probably 90% of my problem. Aha, okay, yeah, there's the problem. Alright. You're gone. Fine. I have to kill you all. There. Chicken. Whoa, whoops. Chicken. Carpet, please. Come on. Chicken squirreling. Boo! Okay, so we have another pet chicken apparently going on. Quite a few of them out here. Why did I have to mess with it? It was working fine. Let's go this way. Another one over here. Days you wish you had an ocelot. I have a chicken's in here? What the? Seriously, man? Aha. Boink. There we go. I don't want to hurt the villagers. Let's see if we've got everybody. So I should only have chickens in here. And I should not have golems in there, so that's a problem. One of those days, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Squirreling for the purposes of golem destruction? Because that stops my iron farm. Well, that's no good. So where did I see you. Question is how? Oh, I get it. I get it. Okay. I have to get some string, I think. Yeah. String. Squirrel. Plenty of squirrel. Okay. So we've had the noise, which means predictions. Refresh. Yep. Locked. Okay. So while we're here, yes, I do have to clean it up, but that's okay. I have one. Let's go get a few more eggs. 2, 3, 4, 5. So right now, where we're sitting, our prediction looks like there's one user in there who figures we are going to get a chicken. Go up against the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So unfortunately, we did not actually have a chicken. Sorry about that. Out of luck, grab a towel, covered in egg. Just making sure. Yep, no chicken, even though I threw it at the wall. Alright, so what was I looking for? I have a golem, that's the problem. Right. Oh, string. String. See? Eventually I'll remember. String. Yes. We're getting there. We're getting there. What's this? Do I have any string on the go? 1. That's not what I need. I need more than that. Come on. Do I have any loose string, or are they all in boxes? It's all in boxes. Okay, well that's fine. String. Take this. 35 is more than enough. I have zero need to grow this. Oh, and I forgot to test that stuff on the other side. Alright, let's get rid of the golem first. Come on. Here's the wall. No more golem. That's where that's coming from. I think I have... Oh, those are on the bottom, so they shouldn't be spawning anybody. Honestly, I'm not particularly sure where the guy came from. Interesting. So let's try this. There, just in case. That may not do anything, but makes me feel good. Makes me feel like I tried to do something. Okay, what are we doing here? Oh, well that would be your problem right there. Okay, do I have... Sure, why not? Obedient solution. Not ideal, but it'll do. That should... Oh, no, there's a button there. See, if I do it right, then it hides and I don't see them. Alright, so... in theory, I should be able to cut these down. One, this one, that one. This one. Okay, so I shouldn't, I hope, have any more golems spawning. And if these never grow again, then I know the problem is the string. Because I've had those down there being path blocks for a while. They just seem to turn into not path blocks when the stalag things, mites or tights, depending on your point of view, when they come down. See, these are pointed dripstone, so when they come down, it turns it into path block. So that's fine, but I don't know if the string will prevent them from growing. We'll find out. And I don't know if this prevents them from growing or not. Because that's another option, is I could put a whole bunch of these through there. Or a bunch of trapdoors, sorry. These doesn't help. What's this? This is... That's fine. Are we going to have... You guys are going to need to go to bed because you're not sufficiently freaked out. Nor are you sufficiently conversing with each other. Oh well. Let's see if we end up with another golem or not. Aha, I can see one in there. There. Okay, good. Things are spawning where they're supposed to again. Fixed. Let's ditch the things we don't need and get out of here. No more chickens? No more chickens. I mean, they're hiding, but that's okay, I guess. It does what I need it to, right? Alright, so... Pointed dripstone. I was... Let's just try this. The thing is, I need wall. Like, flat, protected wall. This'll do. Okay, so I wanted to know if... We've got... Oh, not that. That way. This way. With this one. Oops. This one. Okay, so we've got cherry and the warped. Which warped is going the wrong direction. I like it the other direction. Warped. Going this way, and then I wanted to know if the dripstone looked any good. So I have a lot of that too. Ew. Nope. Definitely no go. Certainly not. Hello, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. How are you doing? How are you doing? All going well at the moment, I trust? So I think I figured out what color scheme I'm going to go with. Something pretty basic. But I am going to put in the warp just to thicken up the corners a bit. What was I doing? Stitching extra stuff, right? Yes. This is flower extras. I can compost those. That's carrots, it's not extra. Okay, melons, are they extra? What is it? Yep, they're extra. Let's put them over here. Grass is always extra because I'll keep it. Why not? Carrots. There we go. Bouncing between meetings had to be on video and the last one was lurking on the other screen. Ah, I see. I see. Thank you very much. Okay, so we know that the dripstone looks terrible, so we're certainly not using that. Birch seems to be where it's at for the time being. Crimson looks pretty awful, so I'm going to get rid of that too. Where did I put it? Crimson. Okay. There, and I can probably put away my string. There. We do need the glass, we don't need the basalt. Because I think I like this better. Or I think I like the birch better. The basalt was just so dark. And I don't need the birch basic blocks. Or the oak stairs. Dirt, never. And, oh, that one? Yes. I don't even know why I've got an oak trapdoor. Alright. So I can access this if I need to, but at the moment I've got everybody jammed in, so they shouldn't be able to get out this time. Nobody needs feathers that badly. Take the chicken, why not? That's not the box I want to put in. There we go. Okay. So everything looks cleaned up. Great. Okay, I will grab the birch box. Oh, birch box says, what's this? One. What's this? That's a redstone box. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna need that eventually. And I might as well take my other birch box. Oops. And because I have a habit of losing things... Yeah, okay, I can get there. Let's put... Which one's the redstone? Put the redstone one there. Don't think I need that many bone blocks anymore. Let's leave the bone blocks behind. I can always come back and get them if I need to. I have this really weird I'm missing something feeling, but we'll just go with it. Alright, back to spawn, I suppose? I heard you, chicken. You died. That's good. Dead chickens are so fun. I'm really glad they didn't actually put in the mechanic about chickens, dying by running around with their heads cut off. That would just be way too morbid. I'm going with a very bland birch box because I think, well, now I'm second guessing myself. I was going to say spruce turned out really dark. The oak, like this color, actually might not be bad. Let's see if I have any stripped oak. We can do a real quick test with that, and then we're out of here because I want to get rolling on that. We're almost, well, it's only the top of the first hour. I guess it's not hugely criminal. Okay, so let's get this pallet back up on the wall. I keep saying one last time, but maybe I should just leave it. I don't know, till the project's done. So this one. This. And then these would start coming out that direction. So that's where I'm going for a palette idea at the moment. And you know, I think oak might have it. Let's swap it out and see. Oak's better or birch is better? Because I have both. So I know it's a subtle difference in the grand scale, but what do you think? What do you think, Fantastic Shark Fox, or anyone else in chat? Do you prefer the oak look or the birch look? Now that I'm seeing it, I think the darker, the oak might look good, but the spruce was way too dark. So yeah. 1, 2. I did try. That's oak. Okay. I did try mangrove, and it really didn't work. You can see that's where the spruce went, and I think that was super duper dark. But the oak probably will work better. This is a little bit darker than this one. When you get, I'll show you real quickly, this is easy enough. This way I can get down sort of more eye level with it. When you start getting a good distance away and see a lot of birch, it can look kind of, I don't know, sort of bland maybe? Oak at a distance almost looks bland too, I think, so it's tough. I'm just torn between those two, so in the meantime I'm going to have a hydrate, just because.
Two, 4, 6, 8, everybody hydrate!
I'm thinking about getting a separate sound, so we'll see what we can do about that, so that when it's redeemed by viewers, it has a different sound than when I do it. So I've had 4 ounces of coffee. Yay! And I'm going to talk to my sources and see about getting the portal moved, because in here is okay, it works, but I think over here makes more sense now that I've actually got the gate done. Alright. So I'm back to that. I did, by the way, think about a stripe design with 2, and that doesn't work. You know, because we've got the storage, we can just take both. I know I'm saying no to the spruce for sure, so I'll get rid of those. But since I'm not sure on the other 2, I could even do, not alternating, but I can do differing panels if I need to, till I decide what I like, or what we like, right? We is probably more accurate. Okay. Birch, stripped oak. This should be, oh, spruce down at the bottom. I moved things, so then, you know, can't find them. Alright, so birch. Don't really need this blue wool, but that's okay, I'll leave it. Do I have any more warps? I think it's out on site if I've got it at all, so we'll just leave it. And head out. Do 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 do. Spawn we go. I look really weird without when you can't see the elytra. Oh, whoops. I meant to hit F5, not F4. There we go. Wondering why I was moving so fast. And I need to, at some point today, remember to put coordinates of our new find friend Sashay away into my database, just so that when I'm going past their portal, I don't go, whose is this? 30,000 times. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. So you get here, and you just see a box. And then it takes you till you get, so you're past the spawn building, it takes you till you get, like, up the stairs. Yeah, there we go. So we're here, and it's in, and it's out, and it's in, and it's out. It's just interesting how things spawn sometimes. There we go. So you put the use disk, give shard equals new allay. That's cool. Huh. I've never had an allay. I've never actually got one, or went into the trouble of not just finding them, but even figuring out how to work well with them, because I just wouldn't know what to do. I mean, it does annoy me when things drop, so maybe that's useful, but I've never really figured out how to use them well, so I'll have to experiment with that at some point. Back wall, by the way, it's probably been done in glass again, I think. But, yeah, we need to finish off the glass up top for sure, and then do the boxing down here in no particular order. And the back wall, since I'm here, for boop. So this back wall, yeah, I need to tear out this glass. The back wall here, for one, it's moved forward so that our village is a little further back in the box. I think it makes more sense. And the second piece of that is that this has to come out because I'm hoping to make it a more difficult to get block, but a solid one, like something like Crying Obsidian. But we'll see, because that's, yeah, there's a lot of challenges to me getting Crying Obsidian in the quantities necessary. I think I only own like 20 some blocks, so that wouldn't cover very far. Okay, so my question on this one then, let's get some more of this stuff. It should be enough. And no, I don't need that. Don't need that. Really, Delenn? Really? I brought this, and that's it. Because I've put birch in the box. Well, that could make our decision for us. Nice and simple. Okay, let's do a bit, just a bit in the birch. I can always tear it out. And we'll just see where we go from there. Ad break! So for those of you that are stuck with ads, or sorry, depending on what style of ad break you get, for those that may or may not be stuck with ads, let's start with the sidewall. Ooh, no, I don't want to keep falling in there. Let's, yeah, I'll start with the front. Why not? I can never make decisions today. It's just not happening. There, close enough. You know, based on the lighting that's available in vanilla with no shaders on or anything, I actually think I'm just going to go birch, because I don't think we need it any darker than that. So yeah, birch box, but I'm still going to keep this border, I think, because I like just the slight movement it gives. And you're not going to see a whole ton of it. When I was doing it in the test, I was running it on the side as though you're seeing the corner, but it actually won't be as pronounced. Now the only question I have next is, do I like it like that, or I'll use a bit of extra cherries to show what I mean. does it benefit from being recessed? Because if I recess down here, I probably should recess the glass up top, which eats up all the space we have up there, so I'm not keen. But I'm not totally sure, so I'm just going to take one boo. So basically, once again, I'm headed to Zoltar.org, because they're one of the makers of these boxes. And they have an interesting double trim on the top, but on the deluxe edition, it would have an extra border on the down side, and it would be split across the middle. Whereas on the quote-unquote standard edition and the economy edition, they just have horizontal split lines. I'm trying to decide if we're a deluxe, economy, or standard. Yeah, we're gonna go economy. I think we're cheap. But do I like it inset? That's the question. I do not know. You can go reverse depth, actually. So if I took this one down, come on, blocks. Really? There we go. Okay. If I take that down, I also take this one. I might have to go vertical on that one, though. So if I go vertical, but I put that inset by one, come on. That looked really dumb, actually. Yeah. Looks very, very dumb. Okay. Take it down. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Now the thing I'm thinking here is... Oops, not that. If I went just... Come on. Oops, that one went in wrong. There. If I go just the dark trim, it looks a little bit plain. One other thing, actually, I could bring out purple all the way around. Yeah, I like the one block, but the offset actually probably would work better. So I think what I'm going to do then in that case, I think the offset probably will look better overall, is I'm going, like the way this sinks in here, is I'm going to go back to the vertical line, which isn't that bad with the birch going horizontal and then vertical. So I'm going to build it all with these corners flush, and then I could pull the corners out rather than redoing the corners first. It's not that I intend to change my mind again, but we've already moved them a couple times, and I don't think we really need to spend more camera time at this point, just moving them and having really less to show for the work, because that's something that's not really noticeable. Not that we can't do it on camera, but I think I'd like to get actual progress made and then worry about beautification. Come on. There we go. And that allows us to go with the horizontal as well, because I can build the horizontal in here. It'll show better when we pull the corner out. If I pull the corner out, though, let's take these out. So I still intend to do it, but I realized if I pull the corner out, then these purple blocks actually belong where this corner is right now. So it's got to be all birch to start with. But it won't stay that way. I haven't decided what I want to do on the terraforming, which is part of why the blocks, or the, wait, pardon me, why the hill comes up so close, and I'm just building right up to it, is just that if I pull the hill away, which is pretty likely, or not likely, I will pull the hill away, but when I pull the hill away, I don't know how far back, in which case we're definitely going to need some more space, or some more fill-in. I have a junk bin. Yes, I do. Close enough. Yay, rain! Rain in Minecraft. At least it's not thundery. Right? I can't sleep it away, so it's not thundering. I don't really like being up on scaffolding and stuff when it's thundering. Had a couple of close calls, similar to ones that Dadcraft has shown on his streams. I didn't do this the right way, silly me. Go. Can I reach? Not really. That's okay. I've got control not to fall off. The smartest trade I think I ever made was Swift Sneak. Thank you for dropping in. I would love to be able to combine that with somebody auto drops in when they first show as part of their welcome, but unfortunately I'm not hosting the actual drop code, so that makes it a bit more challenging. You know, I probably should be stripping these as I go, huh? That would make sense. Didn't stick the landing. Aw, splat. Okay, so let's pull these out as we go. Probably gonna be easier than having to come back for it. How far can I reach from here? Oops. Can I reach that last one? Nope. I can probably reach that from the ground, though. I am not looking at you, sir. Not today. How high did I go? Maybe I should measure this a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it's only... Whoops, hang on a sec. Hang on a sec here. That should be 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19? Huh? Okay, we'll start from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Uh-oh. Is it only 19 tall? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. Well, either way, Let's go halfway. Would it? Of course, it's only 19 tall, because it was 20 if I counted the inset one. Huh. Okay. Well, that's gonna be interesting. All right. Well, then what's halfway? 19 over 2 is 10. Hello, Tiz. How are you today? Hopefully you had a fine weekend. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Hopefully you had a fine weekend and a busy one at that, I assume. Okay. Let's get me in here. Pick it up. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. Okay, so our Geek Out became 4 actors who played multiple roles in the same project. And first one I can think of is Mike Myers, because he played an awful lot of roles in Austin Powers. Second one I can think of is oh shoot. I was going to say Will Smith played 2 roles in one of his movies recently. I can't remember what it was called, but it was a big deal that they did that. Dick Van Dyke qualifies on that front. Ooh. That sounds really yummy and pretty. I think I would love to see something like that, Tiz. That'd be awesome. So Dick Van Dyke played 2 roles in the Mary Poppins movie, both the super old guy who owns the bank and the the super old guy who runs the bank, and the Bert, the music one-man band. There we go. Whew. So that would be, is that 2? I think 2 officially, because I couldn't tell you more about Will Smith's character. So yeah, 2. Flowers out of chocolate sounds fantastic. I'm still working with figuring out how to do fondant, for example, and just dealing with molded chocolate sounds much more talent requiring. That doesn't make sense grammatically, but needs more talent, yes. Through the night. Okay. Yeah, what I might do, at minimum, is level off with this building straight across and then just chop straight down. I don't know quite what I'm going to do. I kind of tucked it in here in a stupid way, so it makes having a zone for people to stand actually get their piece of paper kind of challenging. Really, if I was doing this with Litmatica in a personal world or something, I'd actually just like pick up the whole structure. In essence, schematic the whole thing, turn it into like my own, if it's a solo world, turn it into creative briefly, back it up to where I need it, and then paste it down again. But this is not the way things work, so I actually have to deal, because I'm not going to rebuild it. But I may have to cut the world down far earlier. So maybe step down from here and then go flat right by the statue. We'll see. But in any case, we're over here. Aladdin, Robin Williams did the genie. Oh, yes. Okay. And the... Yeah. You're thinking what I'm thinking of the where part where he goes, still good. And almost always gets me to tell the story about the Foreverwhere episode of Erie, Indiana. Yeah, the little seller of wares. Fantastic stuff that cannot break. Oops, it broke. Oh. His style in the stuff that they let him do for that Disney let him do for Aladdin was was actually very similar to the type of ad-libbing that he did for when he did Good Morning Vietnam. So I thought that was pretty cool. There they go. He just went on and on and on, saying whatever he wanted to say until the people filming figured they had enough material, and then they took the best of what they liked. Certain jokes were asked for that one were asked to be repeated, but other ones they just let him go at it and just took whatever he said. Which in Good Morning Vietnam that works, because even if he flubbed a line that he was intending or stuff went a little bit off color, he could recover quite easily from it. Disney, you have to stop and start again, because family friendly is paramount with Disney's material. Ooh, good plan, actually. I share them in one of the Discords if you are so inclined. My ability with like chocolate and rosettes and whatever is severely lacking. So always a pleasure to see others work. And I think this top one does actually have to become the warp stem to be able to make the lines come out correctly. I'm only moving things horizontally, not vertically. Here. So what was the trigger and or usage for the flowers that encouraged you to learn them? I mean, just because works is a perfectly valid answer. So I may have mentioned it, I don't know. I haven't talked about it a whole ton in stream, but our group, Jeepers, our family is going to be taking some time off in August and heading over to Ireland. We have family that lives there, and so that means that I'll have to decide whether or not. Actually, this one. Sure, I have to do it otherwise. But it does mean that I have to decide whether or not I'm going to be taking time off from streaming in that period. My inclination is to say yes, I probably will, just because it makes it a little bit easier just to sort everything out. Our host lives in the country, and that's not a problem. Like, I mean, their place is fairly well situated, but I'm not sure what their cellular coverage is like in terms of streaming. It's probably pretty good, but planning ahead and all that jazz. Trigger for making the chocolate flowers is because I made a mistake with the cake. In order to hide the mistake, I covered it with flowers. Ooh. Hey, I would love to see if you're okay with it. I would love to see the cake as well, because yeah, that's another one of those things I want to work on at some point in life. Well-rounded hobbies all over Tiz. Very, very good. Creative hobbies, I think, are good because they help people. They help people be able to spend time thinking, which, I mean, has pros and cons. Sometimes people just don't want to think about stuff in life. They've got their world, their whatever, and they just, I don't know. There's different types of creativity, and some people just, yeah. Anyways, point where I was going to say blah blah in English is that when you've got a hobby, sometimes it can be relaxing and freeing, because I know far too many people that work too much and they don't necessarily get time for themselves to just exist. I know it sounds a weird way of saying things, but be, as I usually say. Now we get the gravity. None of that makes any grammatical sense when I say it that way, but existing and so on. What I'm trying to get at is having a hobby of sorts, whether it be something that you think you're really good at or not. It's still a learning opportunity and keeps you fresh. It's like mental exercise. Where did I put? I know I have extra scaffolding around here somewhere because I had 2.5 stacks or something. Some of it. That might be enough, I think, because a lot of the scaffolding is all over this unit. And I swear I'm going to end up down this hole again. Keep falling. There we go. We're up. Now that I'm up, I wished I wasn't quite so high. Oh well. Almost. It's a funny way to stack up, but it works. So, yeah. So, I mean, my kids like my cakes. That's the key. And Fantastic Sherlock Fox puts up with them. His are not usually very fancy. Part of the reason for that is just that my son's cakes probably won't be fancy for much longer. He tends to have trouble getting me reports on what it is he wants on his cake, but also that his birthday and Fantastic Sherlock Fox's birthday are within 2 weeks of each other, which means that that things could be a little hairy in there. That period, just trying to deal with youth birthdays and youth birthday parties, and yeah, they're at that age where they don't really want to have much of an opinion on anything in terms of scheduling and such. And then for my daughter, she's one of those ones and then we'll have more than enough opinion, not necessarily in a negative way, just all kinds of fancy plans that she would like to have happen far too short notice to make most of them happen. Okay, so that will come across the top. I'll pull out the block above, like this row. It comes out there. I'll move that out by 1. And then when I move this purple one out by 1, then we can do a fill-in horizontal all the way down to get more of this stripe. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like the colors. Still like this floor, and there's going to be all kinds of holes punched in the front of this because we need to we need to actually have exits. Now they've got a solid front wall. It gives me, I mean, it's not only a look that I can work with, but I might as well see how that looks while we're here. Not clip through the whole world. Yeah, that's good. I actually like that because the birch turned out darker than the sandstone. I was worried that it would look too much the same, but it actually did turn out darker than the sandstone, so that's good. Even the sandstone, like the more or sand basic design, still this looks lighter than that. So I think that's going to work out. And I like the horizontal because although it's repetitive, it does look like strips of larger planks. So we'll go with that. My kids were talking the other day about how they thought that the flooring inside looks like wicker, almost like some sort of weaving. Basket weaving! So, yeah. Pretty interesting to me that they said that. My son and daughter thought it'd be kind of fun if I did a design like this intentionally, make it some sort of giant basket and sell things out of it. I was thinking, if I did something silly like that and actually came up with a half-decent look for a basket handle and so on and a shape for a basket, I could get to work with Ross another season and we'd fill it full of, like, Easter eggs. Okay. So this whole wall, oops, you can see better on this side. So the purple lines will come out forward by 1 block and out to the side by 1 block on each side. And then we can just finish up the trim in between. But I think I do like the slightly moving design in between. Let's just see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 2, 4. Oops. 2, 4, 6, 8, and it's going to be a 9th one underneath. Okay, so that works for now. I had really wanted it to be a little bit bigger, but I made an oopsie in my math, and that's okay. So I didn't account for the floor or the center line, and I'm wondering whether or not I should put trim on the top as well with the warp stem. Let's get the bottom part going and then worry about the top later. So first thing I'm going to do is pick up all of this and this guy. Go. Yep, I have enough room. Goodness. Okay, pick up all of this stuff and cut the hill down, and we'll see where we get to. So I'm actually going to probably do this sort of lazy one step down terrace to start with. From this level, and try and find a way to tie that in up here. We'll see how we can make that work. But it just makes it super simple if I just go with ultra basic and then figure out how to decorate it out later, because I am dreadful at terraforming. So let's first off flatten. That's the easiest. Now what'd she do here? That does exist, that exists. Okay, great. Oops. Don't want to do that. Okay, I can now, whoa! Now, for now at least, build a chest monster inside, just to have places to put everything. It's funny how the boxes will sort of refill themselves, like as in the slots will refill themselves when I've got exactly the same things inside, but they don't refill when the things inside are different. It makes some sort of logical sense, but I haven't figured it out yet. No, it didn't have dirt. There we go. Clean up the mess as we go. All right. I haven't decided what day this week, but we definitely will be having one day, at least one session, where we'll be working on something or other in Bedrock. Part of it is because with this vacation to Ireland, I don't really want to take a laptop that can handle Java, and I haven't yet figured out if there was a way that I can reasonably do Java remotely from my other devices. Just because my laptop is a big 17-inch Asus thing, which is beautiful to work with. It's not fast anymore because I've had it for a while. I mean, that's why I've got a desktop now. But it is a little heavy and can be warm, so, and it doesn't fit on an airplane for sure. Like it doesn't fit on my lap on an airplane. Now, if portions of the house don't really exist because of the fact that they're in a hill, then I will replace the hill back up where it was. Let's just see what we've got. And this needs to keep having, yeah, I need at least a 1-block border on this. It's just a mental thing for me. But a 1-block border like everywhere. So that's got to come down. And that one. Okay, great. Alright, so now we're flat. Let's see what I get if I single step down from this one. There. This one can come out. So I'm not particularly sure who built these various things. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know who built the gray building, but not so much on the other ones. We're past the end of that, so I don't need to go that far. Through here. Oh, no, that is the building. This one here can come out. Okay. let's step down further and see if we got a hole. Oops. I just can't seem to control this ridiculous shovel today. Go. Alright, so then these have to come out. There. Ooh. Ooh, don't want to fall on that. Alright. Big mess, but that's okay for now. Yeah, my style is so predictable, it's not funny. Okay, so now I wanted to go down further, right from this edge. Maybe not. Maybe just from in here? Yeah. How about 1, 2, 3, maybe? So if I mark it that, how many do I need? I'd love to go down 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks at least. Let's try that. And I have no problem putting this back if it A, annoys the owner, and B, doesn't achieve, or pardon me, is too much space or doesn't achieve what we're looking for. Oh, 1, 2, there we go. So we've got to cut around here. Excuse me. I love this shovel. Sorry for being so quiet, that's really nasty. Here we got, we did actors. Okay, so let's skip that one. 2 films that take place in a hospital. I can answer that one, but I'm going to give everybody else a shot first. Fantastic Sherlock Fox probably knows which ones I'm going to say. And then I've got question of the day that came out of the page, or out of the randomness today. This is not the one from the Discord server. But the question of the day that just randomly popped up is, if someone came up to you and said, hey, do that thing you do, what thing would pop into your head first? So they say, yeah, do that thing you do. And what would be the first thing that occurred to you? Mine, unfortunately, would be to sing a piece of a show tune badly. But what would yours be? So if someone said, do that thing you do. I knew a gentleman once whom I guess for what his thing would be to tell that one story he's got where people trying to sell a newspaper, sell newspaper subscriptions, accidentally called the the biology lab he was working in at a hospital. And so he gave them a whole rigmarole about all the precautions they would need to take in order to make delivery permissible at the location. Oh yeah, went down 1, 2, 3, right? 3 was all I looked for. So down 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 was all I was looking for. So I don't need this 4th one. Come down 1, come down 2, come down 3. So this can just fill in. But if I do it right, I have to pull off this part anyways. Before I clean up too much, let's punch through and see if that's the right level I wanted. No! One more. Okay. So I do need that spot. Alright, so let's get this piece. Oops, I have to go down 1 extra and dirt this part up. So, yeah, the guy was talking all about, like, his one story is all about hazmat suits and the types of, clean rooms things and how they would have to, he was talking about whether it's true or not, I don't care, in terms of, like, what the qualifications were. But he was talking about, like, the hazmat showers and so on and so forth, which is not true. This is not like a super high quality lab. This is like a lab coat type lab. But yeah, he loved to mess with the people on the phone. But that's pretty much his one story. So that's probably what his thing would be, is that thing you do is tell his one story. For the question of the day, you would monologue. Monologue about what? Just whatever happened to be on your mind at the time? Or is there any particular topic you would monologue about? I know we as a pair of parents monologue at our kids a lot. They ask what should be a 5-second question, or at least in their mind it should be, or maybe a 5-minute answer. And unfortunately, we give them the like half-hour to 45-minute answer, and I'm fairly certain they're not always impressed. They got an answer, but they probably learned far more about it than they ever wanted to know. And half the time we actually have books on that, whatever the topic is, or websites that we could say, oh, hey, I got this great website I should send you about that. Then we proceed to tell them about it anyways. No? And then I've been known to send links or drop off books under the guise of, well, you are improving your research skills, which is probably most likely not what they wanted to hear. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Down 1, down 2, down 3, down 4. So this one, let's keep going. Monologue. Sounds like the monorail thing from The Simpsons. At least what it made me think of. Okay. Oh, nice. The things you find. So there's the cherry trim. So I'd like to clean out this part without falling in a hole. Oops. I'll lose that one. That's okay. Okay. I know this row's gonna come out. Nope. With my kind of luck, if I don't take this piece off over my head, I'm gonna have mobs. Let's clean out right up to the edge and see what we got. Alright, so Swanky Potato is doing a very good job of helping me out with designs for the inside. So we'll probably have a something very similar to a Swanky designed design by the time we're done here. And just the whole point to this is just to be a little bit silly, I guess is really what it comes down to. And I talked about, if you've seen the movie Big with Tom Hanks, then he talks to a machine, makes a wish, and it gives him, you know, his wish card. But the actual machines are designed to spit out like a fortune or something, like a fortune teller, you know, your old gypsy crystal ball concept. But in this case, what we're just going to do is have them spit out some sort of, I don't know, rather generic quotation or information that may be accurate or maybe sus, in the same sort of way that like the cheesy fortune cookie that you get from the Chinese takeaway. That sort of thing is really less than ideal. Or less than matched up to the user, I suppose. So that's where the idea is, and so the inside of this thing is going to be, you know, doing its clanks and cranks and whatever, and I've yet to find out whether it'll be making noise all the time, or whether it will be just sometimes when it gets triggered. We're still working that part of it out. And I did have an idea, like a design idea, and then when Swanky basically said, hey, here's my very basic design idea of how you could do the inside, and it was so close to what I'd already written on paper that I was quite pleased. So I'm working with him to see, I'm going to be working with him more to see how we can flesh this idea out and actually make it workable. Okay. Huh. So to terraform down from here, a bit challenging. We'll see what we can get, but I'm not sure I'm going to get a whole lot of space in front of this machine. Quote of the day would be entertaining large groups of children. Crowd control and coming up with a game on the fly. You rock. I was in our local science center yesterday with the kids, and it's the season where not only does the science center run their own summer camps, a lot of the other summer camps in the area will have a field trip to the science center. And so I was there talking to one of the summer camp counselors, just somebody had left something behind or whatever. And she goes, "Are you a child educator?" I was like, "Well, no, but I'm a scout leader from the youngest level on up." And they're like, "Cool, I'm a guide leader." It's like, okay. But they said, "Somehow we just seem to be able to find each other." Sure. I'll go with that, yeah. Leaders of youth just find each other. But I just thought it was kind of funny that had happened. And my sister-in-law has actually been one of the ones who leads or has in the past had jobs to lead summer camps. Like, that was what she did. The type where, you know, your kid meet up in the park and then they've got activities all day long in the park. Like the playground type park. But she's quite happy doing some other things now, as far as I can tell. It's just that sometimes I go, yeah, you know, even in the Merrydins, it generically runs in the family. Okay. And this one. Right. Might as well have only one block there. I can strip this corner off. Oops. That is indeed a superpower. Coming up with games on the fly is really challenging sometimes, but I may have to pick your brains then, just to say, hey, what can we do when you want something other than tag? Because we have so much tag going on that we'd like to do something else, but that if you don't tell the kids, hey, here's what you're going to be playing, then they just want to play tag. Took me about a couple of weeks of meetings before I realized, hang on a second here. The older group, They say, oh, we want to play Man Tracker. Yep, it's Man Tracker. That's what it is. Yep, it's definitely Man Tracker. Okay, they're all about Man Tracker. Sure, I'll follow that. Took me a couple weeks to realize, no, it's just tag. It's like, it's not even tag for big kids. It's just tag. There's a bit of a more hide and seek element to it, I guess, when you're playing the Man Tracker version, but really, it's tag. So yeah, it is. Yeah, rebranded. Of course, the next age group up are just too cool to play tag. You know, tag's for little kids. Which I find kind of funny. I mean, I guess part of it is, we tried to explain at one point how that type of tag is kind of like kick the can. The old more old-fashioned kick the can format. But they're like, oh, we never heard of that. There's so much not calling it that anymore that just sort of like tagging spot or whatever, that I've actually had kids say, oh, whoa, well, that game's for old people. Which I just stand there, stare at them, and raise my eyebrows. And they're like, and then you see them get all embarrassed. Really kind of funny. Certain ones I love messing with that way because they could use a reality check every once in a while. So that's for old people. Oh, really? On the other hand, they also want to play certain old games because they're not allowed. And that would be things like Red Rover or British Bulldog were not allowed. Because of safety. You may actually hurt somebody's joints. I can kind of see that. The little kids don't really have the ability to hurt each other. They're just too small. But by the time you get to the early teenager set, yeah, I could see that. Because those guys will definitely take your arm out of your socket if they get the chance. But yeah, sometimes I wonder about the games that we are and are not allowed to play through scouting. It drives me a little crazy. We've yacked about my complaints about scouting before. This is nothing new. Yeah, this part's nothing new, but it's just kind of funny to see how different kids try to play different games to make them more cool for their age group. Okay, is this the... Okay, I need to take that down. British Bulldog was so much fun, exactly. And I love Red Rover. Because the best part about it is, I was one of those people that was not super popular. So when the supervisors, like the lunch area supervisor, would insist that we try to include everybody, which is pretty much the only way I played, because initially I didn't really like the games because those would, they'd pick me as a joke kind of thing. Long story on that one anyways, or at least not for today. Where was it going on that? But so when they would insist that everybody played, then I would often get picked or called over last in the Red Rover. So it wasn't necessarily a winner thing. I mean, you really are the loser if you get left standing there until your whole lineup's basically gone. Where was I going with this? But when we did that sort of thing, by that point you've seen just about everybody going up and down the line, because the rules that we played by did not allow the line to readjust who stood where. So if you got to bring somebody over to your side, then you had to stay with whatever side you'd picked. So what I mean by that is not picked in that sense, but at the end of the chain. So wherever they chose to be for the end of the chain was where they had to stay. They couldn't rearrange, which means by the time the last person got picked, you knew where the weakest link was, or second weakest link at that point, if that particular kid hadn't gone off crying by that point because their arm was sore. So then that gave me an ample chance to actually pick somebody. But then once I got a second person on my side, they'd always get called back before I could get a decent line built up. Just the way it works when kids are kids, you know? And then they'd also play rig the game. Kids do that too. Just rig the game where they can't actually, they make sure that they can't get through the line so that they have to stay on the other side. Just because they don't want to be on your side. So this is part of why some of the games for apparently mental health reasons and physical health of our joints and stuff were not allowed to be played. Go figure.
Hello?
Follow complaints? Oh, yes. Hey, Axie. How are you doing? Long time no see. Yeah, I've had a lot of that sort of stuff happening as well, where people I thought I followed disappeared, and then every once in a while, Fantastic Shockbox will make a comment saying, oh, and on so-and-so's stream, pardon me? Right, I am following that person. No, not really. And it's just because the follows broke. I don't know what happened there. Some of the recommendations broke as well. So in other words, because I followed, say for example, because I followed yourself, Vaxinem, then I would not, or that was part of how people kept, or the system kept repeatedly recommending Pristine Frog. I'm not quite sure what the connection is. Not important for the conversation, but that happened. And then after Froggo had some problems with their followership, and I knew I'd been booted from them because of the issues they had, it just turned out that they no longer were suggested to me either. And I thought that was kind of unfair. You know, they weren't under the channels similar to yours type of conversation. Is this the Phantom and Friends breadcrumb game? We were just talking about hide and seek a little bit, and someone I know via another person from Phantom pops in. It's just kind of amusing how that all worked out. Oops. Filling in holes as we go, because if I don't fill in holes as we go, I'm going to fall in them again. I mean, it's not too bad now that I've got elytra rockets, but it's a pain. No literal puns intended. Yeah, exactly. I figured. But it was just more that it all got muddled up. Anyway. I was going to say Twitch be twitchy. I was actually reading, though, there was some... I think it was some smaller US group that was not happy with Twitch retaining their name because apparently to say something or someone is being twitchy was considered insulting to people who have epilepsy. I just thought it was just a weird thing that came up, but it reoccurred, or pardon me, I remembered it because I was having a conversation with Fantastic Shock Fox and the kids last night about how Twitter has once again been rebranded, and this time it's not Doge, it's X. And we were having a lot of fun with goofing around with the name, because to tweet somebody has now become you X them. So if you have an ex-partner or an ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend, then you can X your ex and X on X. But, yep, that's what it sounds like. You can X and X to your X on X. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure Musk can be said to have infinite wisdom anymore. He never really was, but it's even easier to believe that he doesn't. Exactly. And it makes me wonder then that, you know, all of your, I guess, Twitter followers became X's. So one could argue, you know, I have a very, very stable relationship, yet I have a whole hassle of X's. Okay? It allows for all kinds of joke games, you know, all kinds of connotations, but that's okay. I'm not sure that the gentleman in charge, or the individual in charge, has very much care for things making any sense. And somebody was asking about, well, then what does a retweet become? Like, what's the term for a retweet? And his response was, well, you know, that's one of those things that we've been meaning to revisit, which means they're going to break that too. Well, and part of the reason I think they're going to have to rebrand with a new logo is there's a lot of noise as to whether or not they'll be able to copyright the current attempt at an X logo, because supposedly it's a custom designed logo, but mysteriously it looks almost identical, if not identical, I haven't gone right in the nitty-gritties, to a character out of Unicode. So when you So for people who aren't familiar with that term, the long and the short of it is when you want to type special characters that don't appear on your keyboard, then it's the Alt code, like Alt 05, whatever, you know, that sort of thing. And and it also allows to have special looking characters. So there's like an X with a, I don't know, parallelogram on it, I suppose, as one of the X legs, like straight across. And that's basically what they're using as the new logo for X. I will say it's clean and simple, but people have been, or pardon me, the Unicode people beat you to that years and years before this ridiculousness of renaming Twitter. Oh well. Who says no accounting for taste? And that wasn't taste. Funny option of the X, but yeah. I mean, I would quite happily jump ship if there was a better ship to jump to. And at the moment, I don't really believe there is. Because, I mean, for example, if you take a look at, what's the other one now? Threads, I think, from the Facebook people. Sorry, from Meta. I have to correct that. When you take a look at Threads, like there was a lot of foo-for-ah for about a week and a half. And then if you take a look at the dates on a lot of the postings, anything that could be remotely considered quality from people you may have followed on other social media platforms has virtually dropped off to next to nothing. I haven't posted a single thread. There's no point. Right? I mean, you can yell into the void all you want, and it doesn't mean that there's going to suddenly be somebody there to listen. Okay, so this terraforming-ish thing, my sort of signature single step down thing, is probably not going to work too well for this unit. Let's see if I can clean up this one a little bit. There we go. Which means I can take that view out. So I can clean this back one more row, but I do not have a whole lot of space down here. That's okay, we can figure out what to do with that later. I think we can make it work because Swanky's plan, so far we were talking about it, it doesn't sound like it links out the front of the unit all that much, and we don't really need much more than a player to be able to stay, you know, or even stand and read a sign or two for instructions. Okay. Oh, X does count as a funny rebrand, but it's got to be hard to go from being a Twitter employee to an X employee. It makes it super easy to fire people. You're now an X employee. It's like, yeah, and tell me something I don't know. No, really, you have no job. What? Yeah, you're now an X employee. Of what? X. What? Like, it's starting to sound like a Who's On First sketch from Abbott and Costello. Just how ridiculous this is becoming. But, you know, sometimes, and part of it is, whatever it is, whether it be X or anything else, assuming the company doesn't go into the red and non-exist anymore, it's all going to eventually become just old news, right? We all get tired. I mean, Facebook is a dumb name because they've, not too long after that, you know, put on Instagram, and so you're seeing, in terms of content on Facebook, seeing far fewer faces. And it was supposed to be, some people say, oh yeah, well, it'd be great for talking to people who you would be able to see. You can meet other people as good as you can face to face. And it's like, nobody that I know ever used Facebook that way. Okay, good. So we've got a little bit of space. Not a ton, but a bit. If I really want to, I can pull this corner back by one. I'm gonna have to because this is coming out there. But that's just, you know, nitpicking. Oh, that's it. I mean, we keep up with extended family. Oh. Yeah. So keep up with extended family that sort of way. I mean, I keep up with my brother that way because he lives in a different city. But I can't really see how it got used for much. The logic of social media to me is simply that it's an idea that may work. It may not work. But whether it worked initially it's going to become a dumping ground of junk sooner or later. It's just the nature of what it is. I mean, I can say that I have not had a whole ton of stellar posts on social media in the last 2 or 3 years. Even if some of them are useful for the channel, they're not necessarily stellar. Just, I don't have that clickbait. Not clickbait, what's the word? Eyeball drawing, I guess? Nor have I figured out the magic in being able to ask the right question that gets that mystical interaction. Okay, let's go inside and put some of this away. So I have to pull out all of this by another whole row, which means I need to carry this out by 2 rows. And watch myself while I do it, because I think there's something fairly hollow under here. Yeah, the more I see this wall, the more I think it's going to need that 1 block depth, but I don't really want to change the interior size. Let's get on to the next wall. That's probably the smartest move. Do I have any more random stuff spots? Not particularly. I'd like to keep the ores. I don't really care about this other stuff as much. Let's put that up there. Really don't care about the dirt. Alright. Oh, ha. I said I didn't need more blocks, didn't I? And I left bone blocks back at home. Oh well. That's okay. It's not irreparable. Very recoverable. So we've hit the top of the hour, actually. This is probably a good place to call it for now, just because I've got things to do in between the 2 stream slots. So I want to thank everybody that came in. Let's go this way. I want to thank everybody that came in, and we're making some progress on this box. I'm not sure what we'll do this evening to see whether or not we'll be keeping or continuing on with the box, or if I'm going to switch over to Bedrock, but we'll have something going on, and we can pick up our conversation about high school friends or Facebook and social media then, if we like. If you want to in the meantime, or if you have anything you want to drop off, then easily you can always dump it, post it on in the Discord, and then we have places to mark off we can pick up from. And in English, I'll drink more coffee after this. You should too, your regular drink, that is. So thank you very much for coming by. Let's see who we can raid out to that's doing well, looking good today, and get ourselves a bit of a break so I can get onto those. Thanks. Thank you very much for dropping by, Axie. It's been a while since we've had a chance to catch up. Hopefully you and I will be able to touch base again soon. Okay, so we've got, of the ones I'm currently appearing to be following, we've got industrial area work from Ricky Roy, or we've got creative building from Gutty Live. So we've got Ricky Roy or Gutty. Do either of those have a preference for you? I'm leaning Ricky, but just because I like the stuff that he's doing as being in survival rather than the creative stuff from Gutty. Just personal taste, but otherwise, if anyone would prefer the opposite, let me know. And we're going to head to Hearing No Dissent. We are off to Ricky Roy. So let's see if I can do this from Magic Button.
Mischief managed.
There we are. All right. So thank you, everybody. I'm really pleased that you guys were able to come by. Thank you, as always, to our... Oh, I can't even talk today. To our clue spenders, and today that was Jay. And thank you very much to Axonym for renewing his follow. Also, thank you very much to Benson and Sherlock for being our moderators. I think I said that. And to Tiz for chatting as a subscriber. And as always, if you were sitting and just hanging out and chilling while this stream was on, thank you so much for dropping by. I hope you enjoyed yourself. We shall be back again at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which looks like this will actually turn up, which looks like it's actually 5 p.m. Mountain Time. So that's where we'll be, and I'll try and see if I can figure out what we're going to be up to before then, so I'm not all over the place during stream. Otherwise, have yourselves a great afternoon or evening, and I shall see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.